Academy. So let's continue from where we stopped. And a recap, well, we talked about the different types of formatting in HTML, and we talked about the italic, the bold, the delete, the block quote, the superscript, the subscript, and the mark. And today we'll be dealing on types of lists in HTML. But before that, I will further add one more type of text formatting, and it's going to be the abbreviation, which is the abbreviation part. Now let's say if we have a paragraph, we have a paragraph saying this is my school, and instead of writing len x academy, we can simply use an abbreviation over here by using the tag arb. So it's going to be ABVR. Now we'll paste that text in between it, and we're going to have an abbreviation for it. So let's call it AXLA, and to make the abbreviation work, we have to introduce the title, so that when a user or a text reader hover around the LXA, is going to point out, or is going to read out the title of that abbreviation. So over here we're going to have the title, and we're going to call it the Linux Academy, so that when we hover around the LXA, it's going to display Linux Academy. So a text reader can be able to understand how to use an abbreviation over there. Now quickly, let's move over to today's lesson, which is list items. How to write list in HTML. So we're going to change this. Now we have two types of list elements in HTML. We have the first one is called the ordered. We have the ordered list. We have the ordered, we have the unordered. And we have the description list. Now, with these three main type of listing of elements in HTML, we'll be discussing more on them. So let's say we have an element. We are discussing about the types of games we have. So let's say our title is going to be types of games. Now, instead of writing our games as something like this, say, okay, Call of Duty, and write Minecraft, and we have Pug. Now, instead of listing out our items like this, now with the help of listing of items in HTML, we'll be able to structure this code, this element, or this content easily, so that the user can be able to understand what's going on. We use lists in different areas. One of the examples in listing of items, like outline items, and we also use the list items on our navigation bar and other areas in our website. So to use a list tag, which is the first one, we're talking about the ordered listing, we have to use the tag called OL. OL simply stands for ordered list. So now to put in a list tag a list tag is denoted by a tag called li. So li stands for list, ol stands for ordered list. Now to create an ordered list, you have to put the items you are listing, which is inside the li tag. We have to wrap it with the li tag and store them inside the ol tag, which is the ordered listing tag, just like you are seeing over here. So the first item over here is called Call of Duty Mobile. So we have to copy this. And likewise this. Now, if you look at it over here now, you can see that it is kind of ordered, and it is ordered very well. Like the item we just listed out is very ordered, whereby it's easy to read. You can know that this is the first type of game over here, which is Call of Duty. The second type of game is Minecraft, and the third is PUBG Mobile. And let's go back to the second area, which is called the nested, the unordered list. So doing that, let me separate this with a tag called the HR, that's the horizontal tag. So this is going to draw an horizontal line. So after this, to use the unordered list, we're going to use a tag called the UL, then wrap up the list item in between it. So we have, let's say we have 3 list items. Now we want to call types of games that are on desktop. So let's see an H1. Let's see types of games on desktop. Now the first one, let's say we have Zuma Revenge of Farlight. Wow, Far Cry. Now you will notice something over here that our ordered list and unordered list have 2 things in common, whereby they are both using the list items, which is the li, but the OL, which is the ordered list, lists out items in a numerical form, which is in 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that. Why the unordered list lists item using dots, and we have other examples. We can be able to change these dots to other buttons, other bulletins like the square, the ticks, and all that. But we can only do that using the CSS styling, which we are going to learn very soon. So if you look over here, we have the types of games using the ordered list and the types of games on desktop using the unordered list. Now, when do we use the description list? The description list is being used when we want to describe a particular thing. So let's say we have our HR again. Let's separate this part. Now we have our DL, which simply means description list. The description list, unlike the ordered list and the unordered list that have just only the OA and the li tag, the description list has list items whereby we have the description title and also the description data. So, and this is denoted by the DT, that's a DT tag, and also the DD, which is the description data. Now over here, we want to talk about let's see why we love cars, why we love certain cars. So I can say example is Toyota cars. Now this is the title. Now the description why I love Toyota cars, I'm going to say I love Toyota cars due to their texture. Now, if you look over here, you will see the difference of the description list and the ordered list and the ordered list. Now, the description list, it creates the title of the list item, which is Toyota, using the DT tag, and it indented the description data down to the last character of our title, just like this. Now we can also replicate this by doing more of this. So let's just copy and paste, so I'll have multiple of it. And you're going to see that it's going to follow the same command. Now if we look over here, we are having the same thing, which tells you that the description list always have a description title and the description data, the description title again, the description data. So if you look at the format, the way it formats text, it always creates an indented, or you always create a spaces before the description data from the right. Okay.